Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to GoodKnit Kisses. I'm your host, Kristen, and today we are working on another potholder, and we're working on this one today. This is a large houndstooth design, and we're going to do something a little bit different with it, so stay tuned. So we are on our ninth, no, this is our 8th. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ha! We're on our 8th potholder of this series, and I have one more to show you, and then another little bonus that we'll do that looks like a little napkin ring holder. We'll just do it with 2 colors, but we will be wrapping that up and having that 10th bonus one soon. And today I want to do something a little bit different. I'm starting and showing you the design that we'll be working on, and I'm going to show you taking apart one of these and putting it back together because I want you to see that these are absolutely reusable. So say you get tired of one design and you want to do another one, or you have an old one, you're like, I want to play with it and reuse it. Is it reusable? Yes. This one has actually been worked once already as another potholder, and then I put it into this design. Now, it has not been used in the kitchen yet. So let me just say that. So I had made it and then I remade it. So I'm going to be taking it apart here in a second and then redoing it. And we're going to make this larger houndstooth look here. It's kind of a plaid look. It's got 2 colors and there's 18 of each color. So good morning, everyone. And we're going to do this. I'm going to set these aside. These are the rest of the ones that we've already done. Got my supplies. Okay, so this one, normally I have it tucked in back here, and so what I had to do is had to find where my loop was. I did that already off camera, and so I'm just going to be taking this apart, and you can see where I had tucked in my loop here, and so I just really just kind of have to pull that apart. So it's just a matter of undoing it, and so I'm just going to find one of the ends here and take apart this crocheted edge. There's that corner that got turned. If you're just joining me, thank you for joining me on the live broadcast, and also if you're on the replay. And of course, all these will be on Facebook and on YouTube. We have Joanne as acting producer today, and she'll be giving you guys links. The loom that I'm using is the large potholder loom from CindWood Looms. The loops are found from her as well, and Harrisville.com also has loops available. To get the loom with the long pegs, you have to get them from CindWood Looms. The Harrisville looms is the regular loom will get you this size, and the Pro loom is bigger, and those are all metal. The pegs are a little shorter and they're all metal, so it's going to be different than this one. Okay, so I've now gone around. You can see it's all raggedy, and some of these loops are already starting to come off. So I'm going to go ahead and set them aside. And you can see how they're already kind of stretched out, and then you could just pull them off. So this is just showing you that these can be taken apart. And then we're going to make this large houndstooth design again, and you can see what this looks like. And when I get this one kind of deconstructed, you'll see, and put back together, you'll see what it looks like after one these have been used 3 times, because this has already been used once already, or reused once already. Okay, almost done. So it came apart pretty easy. Okay. So we have 18 of red and 18 of blue. Okay, so we're just going to start at doing the warp here, and we just need 3 of the first color. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And they still have a little bit of retained stretchiness here. They're not stretched out too much. So we got 1, 2, 3. And we'll be doing these in groups of 3. And then we've got 3 of the second color. Okay. And then A again, color A, which is blue. And just alternating. And that's it. Whether you have the large size or the pro size, that's how you pop those on there. Now the benefit to the pro size, it would keep going in width here. So when we finish, we're going to finish with the red instead of with the blue. I do like things more symmetric, or symmetrical, but in this case, that won't happen. If I had the Pro Loom, it would be even better because we could finish with the blue. Okay, so we've got the warp. Now we want to do the weave. The weave is going to alternate in 3s as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and those will go first. So it's going to do this same thing, weaving. Okay, so if you want to set them aside, a way to get them in the right patterning is just to put them in the right order. So just grabbing groups of 3 and setting them over here. Okay, there we have it. And then you just start your weave. Under, over, under, over, or over, 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 under, over, under. It's the same, alternating. It doesn't matter which you start on. You just do the opposite the next time. So this one I went over, under, all the way across, and now I'll do the opposite, under, over. Making a pot holder takes about 20 minutes, or it has on camera for me. And then of course I added a few because I was taking this one apart first. All right, so that's what our blue looks like. So you can see it looks very solid right there. And then this one is, looks like it has a bit of a checkerboard. So now when we use the red, that's going to flip the checkerboard to be over here. And then where the red meets, it will be more solid. Again, this video is not sponsored by any company. It's just the products I'm using. And I don't think making these is necessarily just for kids. I know I know when we're kids we do this a lot, but I really enjoyed them as an adult. I think as a kid, I don't think I tried all these different patterns. I just remember making kind of basic stuff. I think if I had realized I could have made more patterns, I probably would have kept it up for a much longer period of time. And probably having better loops would have helped me back then. Okay. So you can see how we've got the more solid with the red now. And then we're going back to the blue. Isn't that nice? And that design really starts popping out now. Okay. Oh. Hoping to get a few more of these made before the end of the year. There we go. Up. Back to the red. We're halfway through. So as you can see on this end, when we're doing the weave, it's going to be the same as the warp. It will end on the opposite color. So it doesn't quite finish out the design like the other ones do. So it's not a mirror of itself. I still love it though. Oh, you can't see it. Here we go. So this is a good one with the two color design. I know some people like doing the team colors. I think it's Bonnie on here who's been posting some that she's making for a team for her husband, if I have that right. So because this is 18 loops of each color, it works really well for those designs. I know that Harrisville.com is really nice because you can actually specify the exact color you want and say how many you want. So you could get a nice big bag of just a few different colors rather than having a bag of random colors and then wasting some away. So you could make them for a friend's kitchen decor or yourself or whatever you want to do. You'll probably hear my kids today. They're off of school for winter break. Okay, starting of the last blue section here. I can tell the difference in this one because it is more stretched out. These don't feel as bulky. These loops don't feel as bulky as they did the first time I used them and the second time. So they're a little bit more stretched out, but I think it still makes a nice pot holder. Okay, one more. Okay, and so we're on our last one with the red. And again, we have these tools over here, which I'm not using because I like using my hands. If I was working with a metal one, I don't think I'd be able to use my fingers, maybe in the middle section, but because they pop off so easily, like these, the head on the peg is just keeping it there, so it's not popping off. Even if it slides up, it's not coming out. I don't even bother double checking and looking that it is getting close or anything, because I just trust that the tops of these work really well. I just used them so many times, I know that they're not going to come off. You know, unless I placed it on there badly. But the metal ones really could use an improvement. And they just slip right off. Okay, getting down to it. One more loop before it's done. Oh yeah. Here's where I sometimes use that tool, but I'm able to get in here now. Thank you, Joanne, for the link. We've got that link popped up there. And if you don't see it there, we'll put it in the description later. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Isn't that fun? That's what it looks like from the side there. Okay, and then we're just going to start taking this off of here. And if you want to make your loop end at a certain point, say you want your loop to, like this is the most solid here. Well, I know this is a solid blue and this is a solid red over here. If you want to end at one of those points, you'll want to begin at the opposite side. You want the or you begin at the corner where you want the loop. So if you want the loop to be here, start here, and so on, because you're going to go all the way around in a circle. So let's see where I want my loop. I think I want my loop to be on the blue, because when it hangs, I kind of like the blue. It's sort of dominant looking to me. So let's start there. Okay, so I have my blue here, and then take the next loop and lift up and over, and lifting up and over, and you're just crocheting this off. Okay. So on the solid blue, you're just going to see blue all on the side, and then the red where the checkered is, you're just going to see that red on the side. Okay. Be sure, and if you have any requests for other live tutorials, be sure and let me know. Write them in the comments. I would love to hear from you. We're going to be starting to move to a bit of a different format in the new year, and I'll be sure and put that loop on there. That's going to get that tension going. If there's some techniques or anything like that that you've been wondering how to do, have questions on, let me know. Okay, so if you haven't seen me do this before, of course I'm doing on the other ones, but I'm grabbing one loop from the sides, and it makes it to where when I get to the next side over, it keeps that tension, and I'm able to get into these loops much easier. It especially makes it easier on the last row and the second to last row. The last row especially, because it can easily come off that way. Okay, let me pull this on here. There we go. Oh my goodness, I can hear my kids today. They're playing games. Being very spirited. Oh, and there's one. All right. And I did that. So make sure when I pop that off that I put it in the same patterning. I had accidentally done that. Okay. This is going pretty fast. We're on our third edge. Almost done. Just pull a few of those on there. Okay. So had I not stretched those, this would be completely loose and it would be harder to get into these loops. But because I put it on there, I can just grab it right on and not have to worry about loose loops. If you've ever experienced that, it's basically if the loops all came off, you can imagine these other loops that are woven in could start popping off as well. Okay. And then okay. Because they're going to be stretched out. Okay, so they're a little odd. So we just want to play with the loop that pulls that in and get it back into shape here. So I just find the loop that got tugged on a little bit more. Okay. And then of course, if it gets washed, it's going to help, it's going to block it into place. I'm going to play with these corners a little bit. So I'm sort of hand blocking it. To block it means to get it into shape. Okay. So we're just getting that into shape. And here we go. So that's what this will look like with a loop at the top. If we want to keep that locked in there, you can just go right back through this loop and pull the, so I'm going through the crocheted loop and then I'm pulling from the outside the free loop up again. And so now that loop is locked in and you can use that for hanging or you can weave it in. Just weaving it in along the edge here, underneath a loop of the same color, and then tucking it behind the other loops and so on. Let's see, I'm going to go down between these two and get that hidden away because I don't like the loops, personally. All right, so that is the Houndstooth. And you've got you've got a really pretty design here, 18 colors of each. And these are the other designs that we have. So be sure and check out those other ones. We have a playlist with them. We've got the stripes and then lots of different plaid colors. Doesn't matter which color you do. These are the different These are the different ones we've been working on. This was like a smaller kind of houndstooth look or pinwheel. And then a little checkerboard. And then this fun one here. And you can do on a large scale if you use this stripe one from last week. So that is the large houndstooth, and I'm so glad that you guys joined me today. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon again on Good Knit Kisses. Have a great day, and happy knitting and crochet. I hope you also have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye, everyone.